Hi, this is Emily ASLANIAN with TVinsider.com, and I'm here in the Hollywood-branded, unbranded lounge with the cast of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm so excited to see everybody here. Now, we have some faces that, well, we have some characters that people know and some characters that people really don't know quite yet. So really briefly, just tell me who you're playing and what their role is in the greater story. Do we want to start at the end? Let's start with Rob.
I'm playing Elrond, who at this point in his life is young in elf years, ambitious, curious about other peoples in Middle-earth. That's him.
Young and ambitious, love it.
Hi, I'm playing Poppy Proudfellow, and she's a Harfoot. She is young and cautious, and she is best friends with Nori Brandyfoot, who's played by Markella Kavanagh.
Beautiful. Who wants to start over here?
Hi, I'm Owain, and I play Prince Durin IV. I am a dwarf, and I live in Khazad-dûm.
Which is a very exciting location.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. Bit dark,
Yeah.
but beautifully lit with flames.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right.
I love it. Every time you say Khazad-dûm, it's like mic
He
drop.
pauses. Yeah. Pause for effect.
I'm Sara Zwangobani. I play Marigold Brandyfoot, who is Harfoot, and she is a matriarch and loves the way of life that they've been living for a really long time, and is very resistant to change. But her daughter, Nori, played by Markella Kavanagh, is kind of forcing her to change.
Nice.
Hello, so I'm playing Pharazôn, who is a Númenorian man on the island kingdom of Númenor. He is consul to the Queen Regent, Miriel, and head of the guilds.
Fantastic. Now, Lord of the Rings is just a massive, massive thing that people are obsessed with. So when did you first have your, oh my God, I'm in the Lord of the Rings moment? Was it when you first stepped on set, a fitting, a script, Hall H yesterday? I know that was pretty insane.
I'm still having it now.
What was that moment for you guys?
Well, I had a very prominent moment whilst we were shooting. Is one of the early times we did the Sigyn Tarag. And there was a moment, and it was just a lull in shooting where, objects were being moved around, setting up for a take. And Rob was stood in the middle on a box. And there was about 50, as well, your whole time shooting with me has been on a box, and myself on my knees. But anyway, there was about 50 dwarfs surrounding him, and I was just kind of in my own world going, And then all of a sudden, it just dawned on me, oh my gosh, I'm in Lord of the Rings.
I remember you said that.
And it was an out-of-body experience. And it kind of freaked me out, but I loved it. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of you, Robert.
That is fantastic.
I remember that. I remember they were like following. We watched like a BTS clip halfway through filming, and there was like one really massive section which was just following Owain around his set. And I just remember you going, "Look at this!"
Yeah. And oh my God, I'm in Lord of the Rings.
Totally valid reaction. Totally valid.
I mean, you walk into my set, you walk into Khazad-dûm, and you're in Middle-earth instantly. There's nowhere else you could be.
I mean, you're the prince, so it's your set. It's your set.
Oh, it's mine, it's my kingdom.
Yeah.
Everything you like touches.
Did anybody else have that, oh my
Peter
God
Mullins.
moment that they want to share?
Yeah, for me, it was when I first stepped onto one of the Harfoot sets. We were in we were on location a lot, and one of the locations was this like farm with this massive forest in the middle of it. And the set designers had done an incredible job of like just setting it up and creating all of the Harfoot's homes and their community. But I walked into what was a rehearsal with all of the background artists who'd been working really closely with Lara, who is our movement director. And there's a sequence in the show that you'll see of them performing that. But I walked in looking at them doing that, and I was literally walking into a live set, and it was the world that the Harfoots are living in. And I was like, I'm in Middle-earth here.
That's incredible. I love it so much. Now, for some of these characters, we're not going to see immediate interactions, if at all. But I do know that two of you are old pals. Can we talk about the first time we see these two on screen together again?
Yeah, it's. I think it's fair to say that they've spent time apart, and they've both got different relationships to that time, which is one of the great things I think about, the differences between species in our world is that everybody looks at time in a different way. Time operates for people in different characters in different ways in this world.
Yeah.
So the initial interactions are structured around that relationship, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's history between us.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that. There's
Yeah.
history between us, and there's been some time since we've seen each other, and it's interesting to see how each character reacts to that time apart.
Right.
Dwarf being wearing his heart on his sleeve. I'm not hiding anything. I speak what I think.
Yes, you do.
And it's interesting seeing how an elf deals with that too.
Right. Of course,
Yeah.
because you're immortal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
Now, our Harfoots, you guys had to. I mean, also you mentioned the box as well, but you had to do some like forced angles and like very creative shooting whenever you come across a different species. How was that experience, just adjusting to doing that on screen?
Sometimes it was actually amazing. It was such a gift that they worked really hard to let us do things practically and
Right.
not with special effects, so that we could work with our fellow performers, which was so important for character development and story development and all of that. But sometimes it was also a bit challenging. I remember, this is not my story, but I remember my husband in the show, Dylan Smith, who plays Largo, he got given this enormous rabbit that he was just like, why? Why do I have this enormous rabbit? That was a real rabbit from, I think he said was the Netherlands or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
gosh.
and it was because obviously on screen it makes it look.
It helps.
It really helps. Yeah. But it was gigantic, and he kept saying that it looked like it was going to eat his head or something. And then we also got given like massive berries, like the size of our fists to eat, and so that really was very, very useful in the scale situation.
Yeah, and we also had wonderful scale doubles as well, who were so committed and so amazing. We did like movement workshops with them, and they really did become like our characters. It was really cool. We also did something called Scale Academy, which I think most of us went through. And I mean, they just told us all about like the technology and how it's advanced since like, whatever. So like, I still don't understand it. It just kind of got to the stage.
movie
There was so
magic.
much maths involved, and I was like, I don't know.
But it was incredible, yeah, because they showed us that chart on the wall, and it was like, wow, these guys have really worked it out.
Yeah.
But the scale doubles, I'm so glad you mentioned them, because there were some times when I would be looking at a shot going, hang on, was that me or was that them? Like they were so consummate in their skill of matching what we had done to create our performances. It was really, really astonishing.
That's amazing. Now, real quick, because I think I have time for one last one. Numenor. I mean, everybody's so excited to see it. What was it like being there?
It was incredible.
Yeah?
It was incredible, yeah. The set that they built was
I've heard
phenomenal,
it's
yeah.
insane.
Walking out and walking through the market and speaking to a crowd of people was just, I think my moment was when I went to the director, Wayne Yip, and I said, could you be my warm-up act before I speak to these? And he was like, what, like, do you want me to tell jokes to them before you come on? I was like, that's exactly what I want you to do. And fair play,
Did he?
was a great sport. He did.
Oh my
before every
gosh.
take. I was like, I gave, there was a microphone. I go like, go on in. I'm going off now just to prepare myself. You crack on, like, and share new material with them. And, they were all warmed up. We had a great time and stuff. And I thought, wow, this is
Oh my gosh.
rock and roll.
I love it. Well, you guys sound like you have a great time together as a cast. I cannot wait for people to see the show. I think they're going to freak out. Everyone go watch The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, September 2nd on Prime Video.